On today's DungeonCraft, I show you how to speed paint a group of 3 goblins. So for tonight's game, I need a lot of goblins really fast, so this is going to be a speed paint, and I'm going to try to paint 3 goblins in about 2 hours. I picked up a package of Paizo's Deep Cut Minis at the local hobby shop. It comes with 3 pre-primed goblins to a package, and at $5 I consider it a bargain. The package comes with an archer and 2 swordsmen. The sculpts are pretty clean with deep recesses. There's a little flashing to remove, but it's not too bad, and some pretty good detail on them. I glue them to the stands with crazy glue. I like the kind with the brush if you can find it. I get less on my fingers this way. I wish the stands had come pre-primed as well, but they didn't, and then I forgot to prime them, so I'm just gonna move forward with what I've got. To paint these minis, I'm gonna be using the cheapest brush ever. It's a #1 round synthetic brush I got off of Amazon. They sell them in a package of 50 for just $18. I got this tip from pro painter James Wapple. He uses these types of brushes, and they're so cheap he doesn't even bother to clean them. A lot of times he just throws them away. For details like the eyes and the belt buckles, I'll be using my #0 Winsor Newton Series 7 Kolinsky brush. If you want to be a serious painter, you're going to need a couple of these at $7 each. It's pretty expensive, but you need them to do eyes. So here is my color palette. This is the brown family. I have Reaper Basic Dirt, Citadel Baylor Brown, Citadel Ustapi Bone, and Agrax Earthshade. The goblin skin is going to be Reaper Pale Green, washed with Citadel's Athonian Camoshade. The grays include Citadel Eshin Gray, which is a great dark gray, and Reaper's Rainy Gray. For the belt buckles, Shadowed Steel and Black Wash. And my reds are Reaper Blood Red and Crimson Red High Pigment paint. I can't stress how important it is to thin your paints, especially when you're painting flesh. So use some distilled water, and you want to get it to a consistency where it's kind of like skim milk. Carefully paint all the flesh areas of the model. If you don't think the green is dark enough, you can always go back and do it again once it's dry. If you're painting all 3 models at once like I did, if you're painting with really thin paints, by the time you get to the final model, that first model is already dry and you can just do it again. And step 1, the painting of the flesh, is complete. Next, I'm going to cover all the non-skin areas with black wash. To this, I'm going to add a small amount of liquid dish soap. The dish soap helps the wash flow into the recessed areas where the shadows would be, while leaving the raised areas lighter. I always do a black wash when I'm speed painting. This way, if I miss something with the base color, it'll just be black and no one's going to really notice. Make sure you wash the eye sockets and the teeth as well, and stage 2 is complete. Next, I'm going to apply my brown dirt. It's a great dark brown. Brown is a great base color. It's the color of cloaks and pants and belts. And you can lighten them up to yellow or khaki or even Ustapi bone. So I always start with this brown color on most of the clothing. After giving it a good shake, we're going to apply the Athonian Camoshade to the skin. I'm going to be using a lot of this, so I'm going to put it in a bottle cap and add just a little bit of dishwashing liquid. Not too much, I'm just going to dip my brush into it and mix it up. This is one of my favorite parts of the paint job because you just cover everything with this Athonian Camoshade and it goes into the recesses and all these details pop out. This is a great example of how if you use the right paint, the model paints itself. I washed the basic dirt with Agrax Earthshade in order to deepen the color of the recesses, and stage 3 is complete. I returned to the original pale green color to highlight the goblin's skin, focusing on the cheeks, the brow, nose, and any parts that might be raised. Next, I highlight the clothing with a mix of 50% basic dirt and 50% Baylor brown. Again, it's extremely thin, and I'm only hitting those raised areas. I'm going to hit belts as well. The swords look very crudely made, like they've been made out of animal bones. This would make sense because a cave-dwelling species like goblins wouldn't have the technology or the resources to forge weapons out of iron or steel. So I based the swords in basic dirt, lightened it up with a couple of coats of Ustapi bone, washed it with Agrak's Earthshade, and highlighted with Ustapi bone again. I lightened up these pants to Balor brown, I made the shirt gray, and I made the loincloth crimson red just for a splash of color. I painted the crescent moon pin Ustapi bone because I figure the goblins would probably make their jewelry out of bones as well. I painted a lot of the belts and straps and patches Balor brown and highlighted them to Ustapi bone. And I did the same to the binding on this bow as well. Having highlighted the skin and clothes, stage 4 is complete. Finally, I'm going to paint the eyes blood red. Here I'm going to switch to my number 0 Kolinsky brush. And the one last thing I use the 0 brush for is painting belt buckles. And that fast, our goblins are complete. Here they are from the front and the back. After sealing your goblins with varnish or Tester's dull coat, they are ready for the table. This isn't a James Wapple level paint job, but if you need a couple of goblins in a hurry, this will get the job done. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have questions or comments, put them in the comments section below. For more great DungeonCraft videos, subscribe, and please share this video with your friends. Once again, this is Professor DungeonMaster for DungeonCraft. Thanks for watching, I'll see you at the table, and may all your future rolls be natural 20s.